Hello friends, today's question. One end of a taut string of length 3 meter along x-axis is fixed at x equals 0. The speed of the waves in the string is 100 meter per second. The other end of the string is vibrating in y direction so that stationary waves are set up in the string. The possible waveforms of these strings waves are stationary waves are rather. In this case, we are going to find out what are the various stationary waves or formation of stationary wave from these four options. And in this case, it is given that string is having a length of 3 meter and it is fixed at one end, that is at x equals 0, and the other end is vibrating in y direction. So we can start with the general formation of the equation, and which is you can say the general equation for a stationary wave. It is given as y of t is equal to a sine kx and cos of omega t, where k is the wave number and omega is the angular frequency. K is the wave number and omega is the angular frequency. And in the question it is given that the length of the string is 3 meter. So you can say that string length, if represented as L, that is given as 3 meter, and it is fixed at x equals 0. Fixed at x equals 0 and vibrating in the vertical direction at x equal to 3. Vibrating in y direction at x is equal to 3. So from here we can say that our x is equal to 0, this is going to correspond to a node, and x equal to 3, this is going to correspond to an antinode. And we can write the equation for the length of a stationary wave in terms of our lambda. So we can write that for stationary wave, length L will be equal to 2n plus 1 divided by lambda times 4, or divided by 4 rather, where lambda is the wavelength. Lambda is the wavelength. And n are the natural numbers. Natural numbers 0, 1, 2, 3 and so on. So we can just modify the equation of the length of the stationary wave, and from here we can write that our wavelength lambda will be equal to 4 times L divided by 2n plus 1. And we also know that our wave number k is equal to 2 pi by lambda, and this can be written in form of the length also. So substituting value of formula for length, we can write that our wave number, which is our k, that will be coming as pi upon 2L, and this will be 2n plus 1. So we got our wavelength as well as the wave number in terms of the natural numbers n, and also in terms of the length of the string, that is our L. And we are also given that our wave speed, that is v, is 100 meter per second. We are given wave speed, which is our v, and that is our 100 meter per second. And this wave speed can be related with our angular frequency. You can say our angular frequency is our omega, which is equal to v multiplied by k. And from here you can write our omega is equal to 100 times k. So value of k is our 2 pi by L, and we have this as 2n plus 1. We can just simplify it. This comes as 50. So we get our angular frequency is 50 pi upon L, and this is about 2n plus 1. So the standard equations, we are mainly interested in the value of k as well as the value of omega in terms of natural number as well as the length of the string, which we already got it. So this is our wave number as well as angular frequency. Okay, so let us substitute it in the general equation. So let us call this as equation number 1. So we can say from equation 1, we can write our y of t is equal to a sine of, and first we are having kx. We substitute value of k, which is our pi by 2L, and this is about 2n plus 1, and this will multiply by cos of omega x, and omega we just found out is our 50 pi upon L, and this we have 2n plus 1. So this is our final general equation, and we are going to take the options one by one and try to find out the value of n, because n we know will be always our natural number. If there is any other value of n, like in the fractional form, then we can say that that particular option will not be our equation for the standing wave. So let us start with option A. So our option A, and that option A is our a sine pi by 6 and 50 pi by 3. Option A is our y of t is equal to a sine of pi by 6 x and cos of 50 pi by 3 t. And we are going to compare our option A with this equation second rather. 1:1 comparison. It means value of k, I missed it here, this should be here x and this should be here t. And we are going to make comparison of value of k with respect to the general equation k and value of omega with respect to the general equation of omega. Comparing with equation 2, we get, in the first part, we can say that our pi by 2L 2L multiplied by 2n plus 1 is equal to pi by 6. Okay. And value of L is equal to 3. Let me sort it out here only. Value of L is 3. So this comes as 6, much more easier. This comes as 6. And here also it comes as 50 by 3, much more easier. This comes as 6. Now here 6 goes with 6, pi goes with pi. So from here we get that our 2n plus 1 will be equal to 1, or which gives us 2n is equal to our 0, or we get n is equal to 0. So obviously that is our natural number. Let us try the second part, which is our 50 pi by 3, 2n plus 1, and that is equal to our 50 pi by 3. And this also, this entire terms cancels out, and we get this as 2n plus 1 is equal to 1, which gives us 2n is equal to 0, or value of n is equal to 0. So this, which is our natural number. Okay, so we can say this value is possible, and therefore option A is correct option, or we can say option A will be a standing wave equation. Option A will be a standing wave equation. Standing wave equation. So this is our correct option. Now let's try for option B. And our option B, it is given as 5 pi by 3 and 100 pi by 3. So we can write this as A y of t is equal to A sine of pi by 3x multiplied by cos of 100 pi by 3 multiplied by t. Once again comparing with equation 2. Comparing with equation 2, we can say that our pi by 6 2n plus 1 is equal to pi by 3. This goes by 2, pi goes with pi, and we can write this as 2n plus 1 is equal to 2, which gives us that 2n is equal to 1 and n is equal to 1 by 2. So from here we can say that this n is not a part of a natural number, because that is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, so on. Similarly, we can do for the other side also, and other side is a 50 pi by 3, 2n plus 1 is equal to 100 pi by 3. Pi goes 3, this goes, and this goes by 2, and we get this as 2n plus 1 is equal to 2, which gives us that our 2n is equal to 1. So obviously here also n is equal to 1 by 2, which is not possible. Therefore option B cannot be a standard wave equation. Option B cannot be a standing wave equation. So this option is incorrect, sorry. Now let us try for option C. In option C, we are given that y of t is equal to a sine of 5 pi by 6 x cos of 250 pi by 3 times t. And once again we are going to compare it with the equation 2. Comparing with equation 2, we can write this as 5 pi by 6 plus pi by 6 2n plus 1 is equal to pi by 6. Pi goes with pi, 6 goes with 6, and we are left with 2n plus 1 is equal to 5, 2n is equal to 4, so value of n is equal to 2, which is obviously our natural number. Next, we can also say for the second part, 50 pi by 3 2n plus 1 is equal to 250 pi by 3. 3 and 3 pi, this goes by 5, and here also 2n plus 1 is equal to 5, 2n is equal to 4, or we can say n is equal to 2. So we can say option C is our standing wave equation. Option C is standing wave equation. And let us try our finally option number D. Option D, that was given as y of t is equal to a sine of 5 pi by 2, 5 pi by 2x, and we have cos of 250 pi t, comparing with equation 2. Comparing with equation 2, we can say this is our pi by 6, and 2n plus 1 will be equal to 5 pi by 2, and pi goes with pi, this goes by 3, so we get this as 2n plus 1 is equal to 15, 2n is equal to 14, or n is equal to 7, which is our natural number. And similarly for the next omega part, that is a 50 pi by 3, 2n plus 1 is equal to our 250 pi. Pi goes with pi, and this goes by 5. Here also we get 2n plus 1 is equal to 15, 2n is equal to 14, and n is equal to 7. So this is also our natural number. So option D is also a standing wave equation. Option D is standing wave equation. So except option B, option C is the correct one, as well as option D is also correct. Only wrong option is option number B. So option A, option C, as well as option D are correct. Option B is incorrect. So you can say A, C, D are the correct options. Options A, C, D are correct. So this completes the question. Thank you.